The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, live now.
I don't know, Mike. I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, everybody, he's a macho. Now that you're listening to Mike Trash, TrashTalkingRadio.com, the best in the business. Say it, the macho.
Wrestling fans throughout radio land, listen to Trash Talking Radio at TrashTalkingRadio.com. Every Tuesday from 7 to 10 o'clock, you hear guys like myself, the you gamblers and come on. And that's my favorite.
You think we're worse to this part, the Trash Talking Radio Show from 7 to whenever we get done is like using a screwdriver. Cut, roast, beef. This is Revelation, the other half of the Rock and Wrestling Connection. That's the trashy one and the loony one together forever.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ivan Cola. I'm here to tell you about Mike Talking Trash. The trash, 7 to 10. Tuesday night, you got to listen in. It's the best around, the best in town. Mike Davis, the animal, one after the welcome and thank you, the road warrior, what you to do. If you have a good deal with the Trash Talking Radio or else.
Everybody, you're watching Trash Talking Radio. This is Hulk Hogan. What do you got to say about Trash Talking Radio?
Well, I got to say that I just bought Trash Talking Radio. You're out of the picture, dude. This is my show, and you better watch because what you going to do when Hulk Hogan's brand new Trash Talking Radio runs wild on you?
It is times like these that the world needs heroes and entertainment, and with that I give you the greatest live talk show known to mankind. With inflation being at its highest points, we need someone to show us the ways of good taking on evil, and someone who has the heart of Snow White and the strength of Thor. He, along with his sidekicks Trash's maid, also known as Trish, Trash's babe, known as Ashley, and Trash's roadie known as Cirillo. They will fight crime and make the world right once again. Please welcome me in a round of applause for the vital idol class C Mike Trash. You may all be seated. Thank you.
Well, seems I didn't have the right one loaded up. How you doing, Doug? We used the wrong. I blame you.
No, I'm Ashley.
I blame you. Yeah, you're Ashley. Oh.
I just have a frog in my throat. That's why my voice is so deep.
Is that it? Okay, well, it's good to know. I just, well, okay, so the explanation for that is that when I went to pull the opening up, it wasn't there. And then I panicked and I looked for the opening, and I thought I pulled the right one up because I thought the other ones were gone. I guess I got to delete the other ones off my page, but yeah, it wasn't what I planned. We got a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff today. Yeah, I spent well last week after the show, the next day, Wednesday, I went down to Philadelphia and was looking at buildings for the new, well, for hopefully the wrestling school. And I went down there and we saw this building in North Philadelphia in a really good area. And we are trying to get them to rent it to us, except that they won't return our call. And I think it's just they're very disorganized, which is sad because, you know, I really want to, that actually is a decent building. It's an old bank, and it's think it's 5,700 square feet or something like that. So we want that, and it's being managed by a mom and pop store. You know, it's not a big branch, so we thought we could, you know, negotiate, but they're not even answering our calls, which is weird because it's been vacant since 2019. So I would think they'd be motivated to get someone in there. So they didn't return our calls though, and I've had my 2 partners call, and neither one got a response from them. But I'm looking at some other ones tomorrow that are in a just as good of a location, I think. Well, it's not as busy of a location, but it's a pretty busy location, and it's next door to a fire hall. So if we have a fire, we're gonna be saved. I know that. So, but anyway, today we got all kinds of fun stuff coming up. Let's see. I wish I knew where my audio mixer was, but it disappeared between last week and this week. So. Let's get this out of the way. We'll do the birthdays first, and we can move on to other things. Some of these people, I think you'll know just about everybody on this list. Just about. Seal. Hello? Doug? Are you hearing me? Doug? Are you there? Hello? Did I lose you?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Whew.
I put my mic on mute.
Oh.
and I was trying to get it with the wrong mouse.
We're having all kinds of technical issues today.
Yeah, well, I only have 2 computers to fart around with. You've got about 17. I don't understand how you do it.
Oh, it's fun, but it's not fun when it's like today where I couldn't get anything working. So, yeah, I wanted to get it all working right, but, you know, it happens. Actually, I'm trying to figure out, I got to figure out, I didn't change the banner. Boy, I'm really slow on this here. Let's change the banner so that we're at least looking at a newer banner, a different banner. Let's change it to this one. There we go. Now I feel like I did something. And I got to fix you because for some reason I'm seeing your camera looks like it's zoomed out a little bit, so I'm going to fix you too. Let's see. But, oh yeah. So anyway, do you know who Seal is?
No.
Oh, okay. He's a black, I don't know what kind of music he sings, but he was Heidi Klum's husband, and she's a model. She's a really gorgeous model.
I know who Heidi. I know who she is.
Okay, well, it's her. I don't know if
she's too pretty to miss one.
Yeah. I don't know if she's still married to him or not, but she was married to him for a while. But he's 62. Okay, where's the next guy? Jeff Daniels.
Do you know what I guessed?
What's that?
I guessed 65.
Oh, you would have guessed 65. Yeah, that would have been perfect. That would have been right in line. I don't know any of his songs or anything about him, but I know that he was a singer or is a singer, and he. I mean, he must be a winner. He got her.
Yeah.
So much for that. Now, what number are you? Okay, you must not be number 1. Why can't I touch you? Oh, because you're okay. That's why. Wait, it says number 1. Okay, position 1, and that didn't see you. Oh, now it does see you. Okay. All right, now I see you. Okay, now I can crop you. Just got to. For some reason, it doesn't see. Doesn't see your. Oh, there you go. Okay, there we go. Now pull the top up. Now we're okay. It's fun. There we gotcha. Now we're golden. I was trying to figure out what happened at your image. It wasn't the same size as it was last week. Now we should be good though. All right. Next, how about Dan Fogelberg?
82.
Believe it or not, he's a lot younger than I thought he was. He's 49.
Oh?
49. for some reason I thought he was like in his 70s, but you know. Oh, Jeff Daniels was the other one.
That's my son-in-law. He is. Jeff Daniels. I really don't even know who he is.
He was in Dumb and Dumber. He was in he was in a lot of stuff. He's 70. Justine Bateman. Justine Bateman. That's she was in not Growing Ties. She was in, or maybe it was Growing Ties. She was in. Oh no, she was the. She was in Michael J. Fox's show with. She was a sister. That one she was in with Michael Grossman and what's that other girl's name? Shoot, I can't think of her name right now. She was a blonde, really hot blonde.
62.
She is strangely, yes, she's 59. She, I thought she was, it's weird because I like to think of people at the same age that I saw them when they, when they were in their prime. Unfortunately, I thought people had a deal with the devil where they didn't age or something. So I guess that's not true. Then we have Jordan Peele. I don't know if you know him or not, but he had a comedy thing called Key and Jordan. Wait, what was it? It was Key and Jordan and or what was it? It was Peele and Key or Key and Peele. He's a black guy. He's a really good. I like them guys. I thought he was older than this. Do you know who I'm talking about? Or you just
53.
He is actually less than I thought he was. He's 46.
46.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
He's got to be 50. I'll say 50.
You're within the 5 years. You got 46. I actually wasn't sure because I thought she was. Well, I'm glad you didn't go higher than that anyway, because I thought I wasn't sure how. Like she was really young when I was married the first time. So, Kim Coates. Did you ever watch Sons of Anarchy?
No.
Okay. It's a guy named Kim, and he's actually in the new Walking Dead too. The one, the city or whatever it is. Anyway, I don't know if you watch Walking Dead's stuff. But
no, I don't.
He's 67. Chelsea Handler. Do you know who she is?
Chelsea, yeah, I know who she is. Chelsea is probably 47.
50, so you're within the 5 points. Sean Astin. You may not know him by that name, but you probably know him by Goonies.
Nope.
He was one of the kids in the Goonies. I didn't know who he was until I looked him up, so.
You have me at a disadvantage, Mike. I don't know.
54.
No clue.
54. Now, I don't think you're going to know this one, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Jamelia Jamil. She is. She was in The Good Place.
The Good Place. Yeah, I know The Good Place.
She was the Indian girl.
45.
39. And lastly, but not leastly, Scott Thompson, a.k.a. Carrot Top.
Carrot Top, he's got to be 50.
60.
He's 60.
60,
wow.
Yeah. I didn't know he was around my age. I thought he would have been older than that. If I had guessed that one, I would have been way off on him. All right. We can do. I guess we could get the RIP done.
Yeah, that would be good.
We lost Roberta Flack. And the minute I heard her name, instantly I thought of a song that she did, and I thought, wow, I remember singing that when I was a little kid because back in the 70s it was like, wow, I can't believe that I knew one of her songs. And then when
was that Killing Me Softly?
No, that was the there was another one. I didn't realize she did so many songs that I knew, and then I did the research, and I said, "Wow, I actually know a lot of songs that she did."
She had tremendous radio play.
She was a beautiful woman too, and she was a beautiful soul. Well, I'll let you. I'm not going to tell you everything because then why would I play the video? but she was awesome. I really like her more now that I've done the video. All right, here we go. Oh, that's not it. Wait, hold on. Why didn't it go there? Hold on. Oh, I hit the wrong button. You know, this is my first day on the job. Oh, by the way, you know what that is, right?
Yep, I know exactly what that is.
So for those of you that don't know, Dauphin, Pennsylvania has their own Statue of Liberty. And that's it right there. I just thought we ought to be glad that we live in such a free country. So, all right, let me see here. This is the one I wanted to hit. This here. There we go.
Today, we mourn the passing of Roberta Cleopatra Flack, a legendary figure in American music, who died on February 24, 2025, at the age of 88. Born on February 10, 1937, in Black Mountain, North Carolina, and raised in Arlington, Virginia, Flack's early immersion in church music laid the foundation for a remarkable career that spanned jazz, soul, R&B, and folk genres. A prodigious talent, Flack secured a full music scholarship to Howard University at just 15 years old, distinguishing herself as one of the youngest students to enroll at the time. Her classical piano training and academic excellence propelled her into a teaching career. She educated students in music and English in Washington, D.C., while performing at local clubs during evenings. It was in these intimate settings that her unique voice and emotive performances began to captivate audiences. Flack's breakthrough arrived when jazz musician Les McCann discovered her performing in a Washington nightclub. Impressed by her talent, he facilitated an audition with Atlantic Records, leading to her debut album, First Take, in 1969. This album featured The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, a track that, when later used in Clint Eastwood's 1971 film play Misty for Me, soared to the top of the charts and earned Flack a Grammy Award for Record of the Year in 1973. The following year, Flack made history by becoming the first solo artist to win the Grammy Award for Record of the Year in consecutive years, with her rendition of Killing Me Softly with his song, in 1974. This achievement solidified her status as a leading artist of the 1970s. Her ability to convey deep emotion through a blend of musical genres resonated with a wide audience, and her influence extended beyond her own recordings. In addition to her solo successes, Flack's collaborations with Donny Hathaway produced timeless duets such as Where Is the Love and The Closer I Get to You, both of which received critical acclaim and commercial success. Her partnership with Hathaway showcased a harmonious blend of voices that left an indelible mark on the music industry. Beyond her musical achievements, Flack was a dedicated advocate for artists' rights and animal welfare. She was a member of the Artist Empowerment Coalition, championing artists' control over their creative works, and served as a spokesperson for the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, ASPCA. Her commitment to education remains steadfast. She founded the Roberta Flack School of Music at the Hyde Leadership Charter School in the Bronx, providing free music education to underprivileged students. In her personal life, Flack was married to bassist Steve Novosel from 1966 to 1972. She was the aunt of professional ice skater Rory Flack and the godmother of musician Bernard Wright. Flack's generosity and warmth extended to her relationships within the artistic community, fostering connections that spanned generations. In 2018, while appearing on stage at the Apollo Theater, Flack experienced a health setback that led to her hospitalization. In 2022, she was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, which led her to retire from performing. Despite these challenges, her passion for music and education never waned. Roberta Flack's legacy is one of profound musical innovation and heartfelt advocacy. Her soulful interpretations and genre-blending artistry have left an enduring impact on the music world. As we reflect on her life and contributions, we celebrate a woman whose voice and vision will continue to inspire future generations. Roberta Flack, a musical legend remembered.
There you go.
Like she was trained classically,
Yes.
and her two favorite artists was Bach and Beethoven. And she wanted to go and be a classical pianist, which was said. She
Yeah.
was told that no women, not only black women, but no women were in the field that she was told to teach
Wow.
instead.
But the woman gave of herself big time.
Yes.
To give up her time and effort, and as a successful female artist, she could have done whatever she wanted to do in her time. And I think it's really cool that she actually took the time to take care of others, take care of other kids and stuff like that. That to me is really a special person that would put their time and effort into doing that. So I really when I heard heard she died, I didn't realize she was 88. So that's crazy. But I mean, all the people that we were watching and paying attention to in the 70s, 80s, they're all in their 80s now. So, I'm finding that more and more that's what I'm being shocked by them being older. But I kind of think that if you're a star, you shouldn't have to age. It should be fair to be, if you make a deal with the devil, I guess you don't age. But apparently she didn't. She didn't make that deal. So, but it was just really. When I think about these people that I listened to when I was a kid, man, and then I Ozzy's going to be going on tour again, and I'm like, are you really? Well, I guess he's really, at least he's gonna be doing one last Black Sabbath tour, or one last day with Black Sabbath, and I can't imagine how he's going to do it. He's going to have to do it sitting down. I don't know. These guys are getting older. They're not allowed to get older.
I'm glad that all their fans know their words by heart.
Yeah. Yes, they do. And with him,
because no one's going to understand what he's saying.
With him, it's not fair. If he made a deal with the devil, he kind of lost the end of the tail end of that, because he aged really quickly. At the end, he aged really quickly. So, yeah. But that's my only RIP this week that I wanted to. There was another one that came in today, but I can't remember who it was, and I didn't have time to do it anyway. So that's done. I also did that differently than the way I do my stuff normally.
Different voice, right?
Well, it was different. It was different in the way that I put it together. It took me 5 hours to print it. Now that didn't take me. I didn't have to do anything except wait for the 5 hours, but it actually went together pretty quick. And I also. Why is my lips all white? That's what I want to know. I got to figure that out. I think it's because I used this other camera. I'm going to order some new cameras for the studio. And actually, I want to order 3 cameras because, when you're here, I'd like to have the 2. And then if we have a third person, I'd like to, be able to accommodate so that we don't have to share cameras. But
I should be there in the middle of March.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. That gives me a little time to clean up. The studio's really gotten messy again. It's like whenever I start
more than usual.
No, it's about the usual, but I had it cleaned a little bit. But whenever I start tearing things apart to make things better, the result is that stuff happens. But then, if people could see the rest of the studio, you don't want to see behind the curtain. You've seen behind the curtain, but that's dangerous. Paul Simon announced.
But see, the thing is, you don't throw anything away.
Well, I'm trying
because
to.
you think you might need it later.
Well, I'm getting better at that. I'm actually throwing things away. You wouldn't believe what I've thrown I have a couple coffee tables on the front porch that are going 1 out a week to garbage because I have 3 of those to get rid of. I'm starting to throw things out. I really do want to make this place look better. And I'm trying to get my head space so that I do this, and that's important to me, because I got to stop that mentality that I got to have everything. I mean, I'm not buying everything. I already have it. Now I'm trying to get rid of it. So anyway, I'll tell you a funny story. So on the way back from Philadelphia, my phone died. Now, under regular circumstances, with a regular car, it doesn't matter, right? However, my car runs on my phone. It makes my phone is my key. Now that doesn't sound like a big deal. Just plug it into your car and it should charge, right? No, that's the easy way. I got to do things the hard way. No matter what cord I used, no matter what port I used, it would not charge my phone for some reason. I don't know why. Other things work. It just did. Maybe it was just too low. I don't know. But I was thinking, well, am I going to be able to get home? Because I need my phone to have the car run. And then, as I'm panicking, thinking, I'm screwed. Because I can't call someone. Because my phone's dead. And I charged at the charging station, but it's not going to run because my phone's dead. Then I remembered the one thing that's important. With Tesla cars, you get a credit card that acts as your key. And I happened to have that with me, so I was able to get home. But I was panicking. I was panicking like I wasn't going to make it home because I thought for sure I messed up. Anyway, so tomorrow I'm going to make sure I have... Oh, and I had a battery pack, but I didn't have a cable that would plug into it because all the cables that run in my car are USB-C, and the battery pack is a USB. So I had the battery pack, but I couldn't charge it. Now I have a cable in my car that is a USB, so I can charge off the battery pack if I have to. Anyway, that's what my life is about. Paul Simon's going to be doing a 4-month tour across the 20 North American cities, which I thought was really odd because he retired in 2018 because of hearing loss. So it was kind of funny to watch that he's going to be touring again.
How old is he?
Oh man, he's got to be 80, right?
Yeah.
Let's find out. How old is? Well, actually, why don't I just pull up this? Probably says in this article. There he is. Paul Simon unretires from touring for North American trek of smaller venues. And it'll be a smaller venue. That's the way I'd like to see him. I don't want to see him on a big stage. I'd love to see him in a much more personal thing. Let's see if it says how old he is. Paul Simon, he's doing 20 cities and 55 dates with stops at Disney Hall in Los Angeles, the Beacon in New York City, and Ryman Auditorium in Nashville. 83. He's 83. Jeez. You know, I guess when you're him, what are you going to do? I mean, you got nothing to do. So, yeah, and you got a lot of money, so you don't have to play the big places. And it's fun to play the small places because you got that intimate audience. So, you know, I think it'd be cool to be able to play in places like that. I watched the first Saturday Night Live recently because he was the host, and it was just interesting to watch. I've watched the first 7 or 8 episodes, but he was the first host, and it was a lot different show then. But I enjoyed it. But they had several musical hosts, or not hosts, celebrities playing in one show rather than one person. And then they also had comedians that did stand-up. So it was interesting to watch the first one because I didn't watch the early episodes when I was younger. I didn't start watching Saturday Night Live until Blues Brothers. So, yeah. Anyway, So anyway, there's.
Oh, I watched every one for years, but
Did you? Okay.
yeah.
That. I mean, it's kind of interesting because that was the one that he wore the turkey outfit. And just to imagine someone of the stature of a Paul Simon has a sense of humor and would do that. That to me was really what made that what it was. So I really enjoyed it.
What was the show called from the Playboy Mansion?
There was a show
It
from the
would come
Playboy?
on it would come on at midnight.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't old enough to
And
watch
it was
that.
from the Playboy Mansion. It had a name. I can't remember, but the bunnies were in it all over the place.
See, my parents didn't even have cable, so I couldn't have watched. They didn't have cable when that stuff was going on. They had cable in later years, but I don't remember us even having that. I know we didn't have that channel. My parents were afraid that us kids would be corrupt. So
Well, I was corrupted, so
yeah, I'm just a purist. I mean, I wouldn't swear or watch any kind of filth like that. Now I would, but back then I wouldn't. Anyway, Coca-Cola introduces a prebiotic soda brand, Simply Pop, in the U.S. Southeast and West Coast to compete with startups like Olipop and Poppy. I never heard of any of those. Did you ever hear of that?
no.
Yeah, I don't really. I guess they're better drinks for you. I'm not really sure because it says probiotics, so I'm having to assume that that's. Here it is. Yeah, Simply Pop. They're trying to compete with that market, which I don't know why I didn't put that on the other page, but I didn't. And actually, the other thing is KFC is moving headquarters from Kentucky to Texas. I don't know why that's not on the other page too. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. I gotta disable my ad blocker. I don't think I had ad blocking on this one. Do I? I guess I do. Oh. Okay. Let's see. The story's been updated to include. Oh, come on with these. This is why we want ad blockers. It says here the famed KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, is part of the Yum Brands, and it will soon be leaving its home in Kentucky. On Tuesday, Yum Brands, a Fortune 500 company, has been based in Louisville since 1997. Plans to create 2 new brand headquarters in the U.S. in Plano, Texas, and Irvine, California. So that they own Pizza Hut, they own Taco Bell, Habit Burger and Grill. So I didn't know they had Taco. I didn't know they. Yeah, I did know they. Yeah, I did know they had Taco Bell. And I guess I knew they had Pizza Hut too, because they have those. I don't know if you guys have them out in your area, but they have one store that has all 3 of them around here. So that's another one I can cross off the list. And take Paul Simon off the list. And take that. Okay. And then, former Vice President Kamala Harris has signed with Creative Artist Agency. I think that's the same one that Joe Biden signed with. So those are for speaking tours because they can make their money in speaking. They make big money. I think CAA.
Obama was at $250,000.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
See, they should sign me. I'm at least in acting. Whatever that means. So let's see here. 7 men are charged in Why do I have this in the wrong category? No wonder I got done quicker. No, I didn't. Okay, here we go. Okay, 7 men are charged in roles of a string of robberies at athletes' homes. The homes of Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Joe Burrow. Who's Joe Burrow?
Yeah, it was big news around here. He's with Cincinnati.
Oh, really? Oh, these are all in Ohio?
Yep.
Oh, well, you better move out of there then. They're going to catch you.
The other two were in Kansas City.
Okay. It says here, according to the complaint, 7 men ranging from 20 to 38, all of them from Chile, were members of the South American theft group and are accused of stealing more than $2 million in valuables. Wow. I think we need to export those Chile people.
They're going to be exported. Deported.
Rumors are about that Barack Obama and Michelle Obama are going to divorce.
Yep, and he's dating Jennifer Aniston. That's the other one.
Yeah. It's apparently not true, according to who is this? This is New York Post. So, former President Barack Obama kicked off Valentine's Day with a flirty message to his wife, Michelle, affirming that he's still the one after more than 3 decades. How long have you been with your wife?
34 years, 35 years this July.
Wow. You're catching up to me and Ken. Ken. I was with Ken for 37 and a half years, so.
I think I'll pass him.
You might. All I could say is he outlived both of my wives. If you even put them both together, he still outlived both of them. So, yeah. 32 years together, and you still take my breath away. The former president wrote in a post on X. So, yeah, I'd hate to see them guys break up. I think they were a good couple. I liked Barack. Let's see, the next thing. Amazon, Amazon bought MGM Studios, right? Or don't you know?
No, I do not.
I forgot about that, but yeah, they bought MGM Studios, which really actually was probably a good deal for them because that gives them exclusive rights to any of those movies. And as Netflix gets bigger and bigger, if anybody's going to try to play head-to-head with them, Amazon's going to be the best one to do that. But I don't know. Amazon has a pretty good thing going. I think Amazon has the better programming than not Amazon. I think Netflix has a better programming than they do. But it is really interesting to see because they get the James Bond now. They own the James Bond series. Amazon does. And that stirred a lot of people up because they didn't really want to, because now that Amazon has control of that, they can put that on their site or they can rent them out at a pretty good thing. It says here the studio will take reins for the 60-year-old movie property while Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli, that's really her name, Broccoli, will remain co-owners as they move to the sidelines as part of a joint venture. So, I mean, at least we know they're going to hopefully still be. Actually, they haven't made a new one since Daniel Craig retired, and they were supposed to make. I heard they were making a James Bond with a female James Bond, and the one they were picking was a black female who was in the last movie, and it just never seemed to materialized. It would have been interesting to see how they handled that. But anyway, that's something to know that they're now going to be part of Prime Video. I've seen, I think, most, if not all of them, I've probably seen most of the James Bonds. And that's, I'm anxious to see what they do with it. Let me see here. Oh, here's a big news. Since I'm talking about Amazon, Amazon actually did something big in recent terms. They surpassed Walmart in revenue for the first time. bringing $187 billion in Q4. $187 billion. That number's mind-blowing to me. It says it finally happened. Top line numbers beat Walmart. Amazon did 200. Well, now it says 213 points. Oh, that's their stock. That's their stock. Brought in a record $187.8 billion in sales last quarter, surpassing the Walmart of $180.6 billion. That's crazy. But actually, it is, but it isn't, because I really thought that Amazon would have done that a long time ago. But I guess they just did it now. So, how much did they, let's see. So they did it by $7 billion. So, that's crazy. And if you look at the chart here, in 2014, they were at 20 billion when Walmart was at like 120 billion. So they were off by 100 billion. So they really cranked up the volume to get to that amount. But I mean, they are a bigger machine in that they have all the people that they let use their marketplace. Not only do they sell, but they also sell for resellers too, and gives a lot more convenience to people. So I'm not super surprised, I guess, about that. Let's see. Netflix is going to invest $1 billion in Mexico's cinema and television industry over the next 4 years. So if Trump says we're going to go to war with Mexico, that'll really screw up Netflix. But I mean, Netflix is interesting because I don't know if you know this or not, but if you look at Netflix in, say, England, you're going to have totally different movies than in America. And so if you wanted to watch, say you were of Indian descent, you could put in there's a way you can actually watch Indian movies in India in Hindi. If you have a VPN, you could actually pick a server out of India and watch Netflix in Hindi, or wherever you want it. China, you could watch Netflix in China or whatever. So it's kind of interesting you can do that, but you can't do it if you use your US server. Like if you use Comcast, you're not going to get that same programming. But if you switch over to another server in their country with a VPN, you can watch any of those things. It's kind of funny. Okay. Live Nation reported an operating income of $825 million, and concert attendance is up 4% in 2024. 151 million fans attending over 50,000 company events. Live Nation brought in a total revenue of $23 billion in 2024, with concert segment is about $19 billion of that revenue. So that's a lot of concerts. All right, let's see here. What else we got? Daniel Craig responds to Amazon taking control. My respect, taking control of James Bond. My respect, admiration, and love for Barbara and Michael remain constant and undiminished. He's talking about Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli after the news that broke that they have passed the creative control of James Bond to the franchise for the James Bond stuff, which I found very interesting. So, Maybe Daniel Craig will come out of retirement. Or I mean, James Bond will come out of retirement. Okay. Oh, I watched Zero Day from beginning to end. That's the movie I was in, or the TV I was in, the 6 episodes. That was interesting. I may have seen myself at least once. When you're on background, you may or may not see yourself. I know where I was supposed to be, and I think I saw an image that looked like me. But they cut out the scene I thought for sure I was going to be in. They cut out, like, De Niro's naming these people off, and I was sitting right behind one of the people, and I should have been seen. There should have been no reason I wasn't seen, except they stayed on De Niro when he said it, and they didn't go to the crowd. They went to the crowd before that, and they went to the crowd after that, but on that particular one, they stayed with him. So I can't prove I was there. They renewed the Happy's Place on Peacock. That's the Reba McEntire show. It's actually a pretty cute little show. She loses her father. Her father, Happy's Place was her father's place. She loses her father, and then she finds out later that her father cheated on her mother and had another child out of wedlock. And so the woman there is her sister, and this is her. So there's like probably a 30-year gap between the two. It's a funny comedy. Not as funny as Flock, but it's a funny comedy. And I'll probably watch it again. I mean, I'll probably watch it as I'm a fan. And they also renewed St. Denis Medical, which it's kind of a cute little show on the, kind of like, what was the show? Scrubs. It's kind of like that kind of medical show where they're funny and stuff like that. Andrew Lincoln, who is, if you don't know, if you watch The Walking Dead, he's the main character in Walking Dead, is in a repressed family in this first look at his TV return to the UK called Cold Water. That's all I know about that. Cold water is a lot like this water here, because this water is very cold since there's ice all around the island. Disney and Make-A-Wish help a 10-year-old battling cancer bring her dream to life by designing her own princess dress. I think it's really cool that they, are they going to let me see this? Come on. Oh, don't do that. Okay, show us there's the dress. There it is. Oh, wait, is she wearing a princess dress? That don't look like a princess dress. Well, there's where they're designing it. There's, I guess, part of it. All right, let's see. There's what it's supposed to look like. And I guess that's what it looks like. Do we have any pictures of her wearing it? Nope, I guess not. Okay. Well, anyway, it's nice that they did that for a 10-year-old to get out there and wear that princess dress. There is still good in Disney. Michael Jordan opens a 4th health clinic in his home state of North Carolina to serve people without insurance. That's pretty cool. It's nice when you have the money that you can give back like that. You know, seems like he's an all right guy.
He is.
Yeah, it's really cool. I got a new game for you. This is kind of funny because I know you're not going to get any of it. So actually, you might get some of it because you read some of the same stuff I do. So this is off of 1440. So they give you a thing called bookkeeping. They give you a number and you have to figure out what the number is. And I know you're not going to get it, but I'm going to. Well, of course you might. The number they give you first is 9.3%.
Means nothing.
Okay, it means it's the percentage of U.S. adults who identify as LGBTQ plus last year, up from 7.6% in 2023. How about 303?
I have no idea.
This one's funny. It's the number of cocaine-filled ceramic bananas seized by authorities. I would have never guessed that in a million years, but, you know. Let's see here. Oh, here's the states that don't tax retirement income. I found that interesting. Do you know any of them?
No.
I don't either off the top of my head.
Probably Florida.
Yeah, well, that's probably one of them. But Alaska has no state income tax. Pennsylvania doesn't either, I don't think. I don't think I pay tax on my retirement. Only on federal. Or is it federal that I... Yeah, I don't pay tax on state for that, I think. Florida income tax says... that's why a lot of people go to Florida. Illinois, it does tax it does tax investment. Okay, wait a minute. We got to back up a second. Alaska, it won't have to pay taxes on Social Security or 401 and IRA distributions. Florida, pension, hefty tax breaks. Okay, no state taxes on pension distributions, 401k, 403b, and IRA, and estate or inheritance tax. That's the important thing, the estate or inheritance tax, man. They really zap you, I think, in a lot of states. Illinois, it does tax investment income, but it has a flat tax of 4%. Gas has one of the highest gas taxes. Estate tax is worth more than $4 million, and grocery taxes. It says Illinois is one of the few states that still taxes groceries, but will eliminate 1% of the grocery tax on many foods. Iowa income tax says tax exempt retirement on Roth distribution, SEPs, and simple retirement plans. Mississippi has income tax on retirements exempt. It says Social Security benefits, 401ks, IRA, and says here it makes the hospitality state one of the most tax-friendly states for retirements. I hope we got Ohio in here, and I hope we have Pennsylvania in here. Nevada has no income tax, which means the following types are tax-free: retirement, investment, and wages. Same with New Hampshire. It says no, you won't have to pay for Social Security, won't have to pay for pensions, IRA, 401s, and other distributions. Here's Pennsylvania. You don't have to pay state tax on pensions, IRAs, 401ks, and Social Security. See, I don't pay state tax on any of that stuff. Okay, Ohio's not in here, so you must be paying tax.
Or, well, because I'm a minister.
Ah.
I don't get a pension. I get a stipend.
So how's that differ?
It's different because a stipend is not taxed, federal or state.
Okay. All right.
But my Social Security is state.
Okay. All right. Got it. Well,
not federal, but state. So I always owe the state.
See, I always owe federal, but I don't owe state. So that's one good thing about Pennsylvania.
It's not too bad. I owed the state $500 last year. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not good, but it's not too bad.
Yeah. So it says here Texas, it says Tennessee, Washington State, Wyoming. Those are all you don't have to worry about state taxes on those. So I don't know why I have this in the wrong category, though. That kind of bothers me. Usually so there's a new, this is crazy. There's a flying car, a flying electric car. This is a freaking funny video. So this is the car, and this is the car that's flying over it. There's a video of it, and let's see here. Here we go. So here goes. He's picking up. I don't know if this is animated, or if this is real, but the car is flying up over that other car. But with the dust around it, I think it's real. Although, would it be that slow? I'm just kind of, I found it was pretty neat. I just don't know if it's real or not. Let's see, video reveal vertical takeoff of flying car in California. I guess that's real.
Yeah, it looks real to me.
It looks pretty wild, though. Imagine, like, seeing that over your head while you're parked. I just found that very, very interesting. Okay. Whoops. Whoa. Stay. Let me delete it. Why won't you let me delete it? Okay, now it will. Okay. Now I have a Tesla Model X, which I've been thinking about when my lease is up. I'm gonna probably get something. I haven't figured out what. I might get another X. I might get a used car. I haven't figured it out yet. But one thing that I found out today that actually may change my mind about what I get is that they're going to. One of the things I dislike about the X is that I spend a lot of money on that car. I could buy 3 Model Ys for the price I paid for my X. And I think about that and I think, well, I like the car and it's kind of cool. But the problem is spending 3 times the money, and they don't update it as much as they do the cheaper ones. Like with the cheaper ones, you can buy a Model Y. The new Model Y comes out to like $33,000, and it seems to me that I should consider buying a Y because I could get 3 Ys, but it's not as cool of a car. So I've been thinking about that because I got till October to think it through. And they have some really good deals right now. They have free lifetime charging on certain vehicles. And that makes it even a better deal if you get 3 lifetime charging. But they announced today that they're going to upgrade the X and the Y. So now the new X and Y should have current technology. When I bought my X, it was brand new. It was just updated then, but they change this thing like every, they change it regularly. So I may end up buying an X again, or there's a new one coming out called the Model Q, which probably has a new battery pack, and so it probably has the efficiency of the other stuff, and so I'm gonna wait to see what happens with that too. But now the X is not off the table. As much as because I really like the X, but if they put the new battery packs, you should get better mileage. But the new Y is going to get 400 miles to the charge. And to me, that's the most important part, is because when I travel, I don't want to have to charge. Right now, my last big trip down to Atlanta, I think I got I think it was supposed to be 360 miles to the charge, and I got a good 300. Because I have to stop anyway because I have to go to the bathroom every couple hours anyway. So, but I the more charging, the more I can go without having to recharge. Obviously the quicker I'm going to get to my destination. So, yeah, it's not off the. It's now not off of the possibility of buying another X because
Did you find charging stations easily?
Oh yeah, they're all over the place. I mean, if you can't find a charging station, you're not doing something right because the car knows where all the charging stations are, and it'll just pop them up on the screen, and it'll tell you if like when I came back from Philadelphia. I don't understand why it did this, but it said I didn't have enough of a charge, and it kept trying to get me to stop at a charging station. And I wanted to run the battery down almost to empty because I wanted to do an experiment to charge it to 100% because it's supposedly that's how you recover if you lost some charge. Like when I bought the car, it was you got 360 miles. Now it doesn't show 360 as the peak. It shows, I think 330 is the peak or something like that. So I don't know where the extra 30 miles got, but someone put on a YouTube video that said that happens, and when that happens, all you got to do is let the car drop down to like under 5%, and then let it sit overnight, and then the next day charge it to 100%. And you're not supposed to charge it to 100% very often. So that's what I want to do is see if that'll recover my mileage. So, but anyway, let me regress. The new, I'm thinking of looking at the Cybertruck too because that one has the newest technology because it's the newest vehicle. And the new battery packs, you can charge to 100% and not have to worry about degradation. So I hope they change that all over to the X this year because that'll make a big difference on people that own the X staying with the X because you want the best technology. You want the newest technology. So that's what my big thing is my big concern is that I want to make sure that I have the best technology for the money because you're spending a lot of money on that stuff. So, anyway,
Buy your lease, Mike. Are you going to buy or are you going to lease?
I'm not going to lease again because I'm not going to. I hate giving up my car. I hate the fact that I can't keep my car. I would keep my car if I had that choice. But then again, the car has come down in price too. So, what I just think that I want the new one because if I'm going to spend money on it, this time I'm going to buy it, and I'll be able to sell it because. They keep their value pretty much. Once they hit a certain point, they keep their value. And I think that I'm at the point in my life where I want what I want, So I think I'm going to buy it. And I think it's going to be the no more leasing unless they have a buyout clause. So there's no reason to. I mean, the amount of money I'm paying for this car per month, I should own that car. So. That's just my opinion, but I don't know. And then, like I said, the new Model Q is the big hype thing that everybody's looking at, an inexpensive Tesla. That one will probably be 30-ish, a little over 30. So that's. And if they give you the unlimited, like they have some deals going right now on the S. On the S and the X, and I think there's a deal on the Cybertruck where you get unlimited charging for life. So if I get something like that, I'm thinking for the X, they may end up doing that for the new X because they're going to have to justify that price difference, and they may just do it because they're doing it right now for the X. For the X's that are left over from last year. They're giving people a chance to buy it with unlimited charging. So, we'll see. I mean, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, I'll just buy a cheaper one, or maybe I don't know. I don't know what I'll buy yet. I've got a couple months to think about it. But it's weird because I only got like 6 months to think about it now. It's weird to think about that. Suits, the new
Well,
suit.
my wife I need a second car, Mike, so maybe you could buy it out and sell it to me.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you $6,000 for it.
Oh, well, that's got to be half the. At least that's a good.
That's a good deal, Mike.
That's a good start.
It's on printed paper too.
Oh well, then it's got to be the law.
But if you push hard, I can print a lot more.
Well, as long as it's fresh, I don't want any of these crumpled bills. Oh, by the way, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are now officially divorced. So I know you were staying up late at night.
I was really, I couldn't wait for that to come through.
Yeah. Well, now she, at least when she calls me, I don't have to feel so bad. Let's see here. Oh, I found a couple more birthdays. I forgot to put these with the other ones. I don't know if you know who Billy Zane is, but he's one. I forget who he is. Who is he?
know.
I'm trying to remember who he is. Wait a minute. I forget who he was. Why do I know him? He was in Titanic, The Phantom, Dead Calm. Well, he's been around a while. He's 59. O'Shea Jackson. Do you know who he is?
No.
Do you know who Ice-T is?
Yes.
It's his son.
Ice-T's got to be 62.
Okay, well, his son is the one that's in there. His son played him in the Straight Outta Compton movie. And it was cool because he looks just like him. So, he's 34. And then Barry Bostwick, which you may or may not know. You probably will know when I tell you what he played in. Do you know who he is?
Nope, don't know.
Okay, do you remember Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Oh, yeah.
He was Brad.
Okay, he's got to be 70 something.
80.
75.
80. Well,
He's 80.
Yeah, 80. I couldn't believe when I saw his thing. I was like, oh, and he looks funny because there's what he looks like now. He was also in Megaforce, Spin City, 2010 Moby Dick, and Christmas in Louisiana, and Big Fat Liar 2. I never saw any of those, but but it's kind of funny because when I saw that name, I said, why do I know that name? And then I looked it up. I'm like, oh, that's why. Yeah.
See, I would worry, Mike, that my great-great-grandkid would want to watch these movies.
What do you mean, great-great-grandkid?
They figure out that they're B-level movies.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, someday it's going to come up, somebody's going to watch a Rocky Horror Picture Show that wasn't around when it was, and they're going to say, what were these people taking? What kind of drugs were they taking? Because I remember the first time I watched that movie, I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah, but it's a cult. I don't know if it's called anymore, but people used to go night after night after night to the movie.
And they would dress the parts, and they would play the parts while the movie was playing. And it was just
they do the lines by heart.
Yes, I knew them fairly well, and the reason I liked it was because of Meatloaf. I mean, I was Meatloaf myself, so. But it was definitely and I had a pirated copy of the movie because I worked at the video. I was a video technician at Hack at the college, and the guy that was video technician before me had gotten a copy of the movie, and that's back when the videotapes were 1-inch videotape or 3/4-inch videotapes. So it was not a home video player; it was a studio video player. And you had to change the tapes because the tapes were only so long. So it was funny because I had a copy of it early before it was even available to people.
Yeah, that's not going to be a good look. It's probably not a good look now.
No. 10 celebrities you didn't know were from Pennsylvania. Did you know? Some of these you will know, some of these you won't know. Whoops, where is it? Oh, here it is. There it is. No, that's a coyote. That's not a... Where'd it go? Oh, that's that. Okay, that's right. There was another... Hold on, I gotta... Where did I do that? I did this wrong. Here we are, 10 celebrities. Kevin Hart. Sabrina Carpenter, who I don't know who she is, but she's apparently a singer and an actress. She was in Girl Meets World, whatever that is. Kat Dennings, I don't know who she is. Will Smith. Pink.
Philadelphia.
Pink. Did you know Pink was from here?
Yeah, no, I didn't know Pink was from
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe, Philadelphia.
Tina Fey from SNL. I didn't know this one. Michael Keaton.
Huh.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, she's from,
West Reading.
does it tell you where she's from?
West Reading.
Yes, West Reading.
Amanda Seyfield, whoever that is. And they missed a really important person.
Mike Trash.
No, there was... I said important. If you watch Chicago PD, the one guy on Chicago PD is from there, from PA, from Philly. He's either Philly or Pittsburgh. Shoot, what's his name? I can't think of his name. He was on all the episodes or all the years. I can't think of his name. But I know he's from Philadelphia or from PA too. All right. Let's talk about Hart. You ready?
Ready.
All right. So you and I watched the Hart breaking the band. Now, first off, I didn't know they were broken up because they toured a couple of years, while I was working yet, in the 2000s.
But that wasn't the original.
Yeah, I thought that was, I didn't realize they had, I knew there were issues, but I didn't know they were those kind of issues, those big issues. And so I watched it a little closer this time than the first time I watched it. So apparently, Hart was Hocus Pocus before they were Hart. And before they had the girls. I guess after they had the girls, they were still Hocus Pocus for a little while. Actually, I guess they had Anne as Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, they had Anne before they had Nancy.
Yeah. And I didn't watch it as close as I thought I did before because I wrote down all kinds of things that I didn't know or that I didn't remember when I watched it the first time. And so apparently it started earlier than I thought it did too. And I didn't know they started in 1970. And they actually started before that without Anne. But in 1970 they hired Anne, and they were like childhood friends with Roger Fisher, Steve Fossen, and Mike DeRossi were the players. Mike DeRossi played drums, and Howard Leese played keys and guitars, and the lead guitar was Roger Fisher, and the bass player was Steve Fossen. I didn't know anybody else's name except for the two girls.
Most people, that was one of the issues. Most people didn't know anything about the rest of the band.
And I have to admit,
they just watched the two girls.
I saw them in the same concert with Kiss and Def Leppard. That was a freaking awesome concert in Hershey. It was awesome. I mean,
what year was that?
Oh man, that had to be, well, Pam was still alive, so it was probably 2012, 2011 maybe. So I got tickets for $40 a piece because somebody won tickets at work, and he didn't want to go. And I said, well, I'll take them off your hand. So I think I bought 2 tickets for. I either bought 2 tickets for $40 or I bought them for $40 a piece. But it was an awesome concert. That was, I mean, those bands were so talented. I don't even know which one I liked best because it was such a good concert. It might not have been Kiss with them, but I did see Kiss there too. But yeah, what a wild. I mean, that girl can sing so well, and she sang Zeppelin stuff like I've sang Zeppelin stuff, but she sang it much better than I could have ever sang it. She hit those notes that were just unbelievable.
You know the orchestra version of Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
Anne did that.
Yes. I sang Stairway to Heaven in my past too, and I wasn't anywhere near what she was in that song. She definitely. I actually saw her at the where is that the Royal place that they played. It was in D.C. I think, and Led Zeppelin was actually the 2 members of Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page and Robert Plant were both there, and that was really good to hear her sing that stuff to perfection. And again, it was not the original band, but you know that band really was strange because you know it was kind of like Fleetwood Mac in that everybody was sleeping with everybody.
Yeah, that came through loud and clear in that in Breaking the Band.
Yes, and that's the best thing about that. I really am sad that's.
And Fisher was consumed with jealousy.
Yes, and he also was kicked out of the band first. Yes. And it was his band. I think
he could not handle Nancy sleeping with the drummer.
Right. But she did that. I mean, I you know.
That's pretty rotten.
Yeah.
To do that. That's
I don't feel
pretty low life.
The thing about that band was it was weird the power struggles that they had with that band because he was the leader in the band. He was the guy that started the band. He was the guy that ran the band, and he was the first out of the band.
And he wrote most of the music. In
the
beginning.
And I really.
But Ann came in and just took over.
Yeah, it was. And then when she brought her sister in, it just. You could hear those harmonies. They were so awesome.
They were so good. The 2 of them together.
Oh, they were great. And it was.
What's your favorite? What was your favorite album?
Oh man, I think Dreamboat Annie was probably my favorite.
But that was mine, Dreamboat Annie.
Yeah, because I mean, I didn't like they had a lot of songs that they were okay, and they had a couple good, really really good songs. Barracuda was you know. I'll never forget Barracuda because they say in Barracuda while they're singing Barracuda. So every time I think of Barracuda, I think of Barracuda. So, but anyway, that was probably their biggest hit, I would think. And
I think that one did 10 million.
Yeah. Well, the thing I found interesting was they were living off of $200 a week, and they had $1 million.
Now, that record company really ripped them off.
Yeah. But they only sold, I mean, it sounds like a lot, but they only sold 1 million copies of that record. So they weren't really a bona fide hit at that point. I mean, granted, they sold more than I sold of my album, but 1 million is not really anything. And well, back in the day, I guess maybe that was a lot. But yeah, Capitol Records was the one when they started making real money was Capitol Records. But they went downhill because I think because they lost when they gave up Roger. And when they gave up the rest of the band too. I'd hate to have been in that band.
Because Nancy was not as good a guitarist as Fisher.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. That's because she was really an acoustic, and she went to.
She was an acoustic guitarist.
Yeah, and I they said something about most people didn't realize that she was playing acoustic, because she was so good and all that stuff. But also, there was also somebody that was playing electric, so they probably got confused by it. But and actually, it was. I never really thought about Barracuda, about what it is, but it was about cheating on your on your significant other. So it was interesting because Anne had decided she was going to. Oh, well, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's. I don't know if she was doing it because he wasn't cheating on her. Oh, maybe he was.
He was cheating on her.
Okay,
She
well then
did
he
it
got what he
because-
deserved.
Yeah, she was rich. It was revenge sex.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting, and I never heard of Hocus Pocus before that either. So I don't think Hocus Pocus did real well with the stuff. Although they were a good tight band, and it was interesting to watch the evolution of that band. And it's a shame that the original members of that band ended up not being in that band, because once they got the other band, they really haven't released anything. I haven't heard a good Heart song in a long time.
Crazy on You.
Yeah, I mean,
All
I like.
want to do is make love to you.
Yeah, I mean,
Magic Man. Stairway to Heaven. Dreamboat Annie. Alone. I like Alone
yeah.
a lot.
I mean, they
And
had some good hits,
Buddha.
but as long as they've been together, they really didn't have as many hits as you would think that they would have, because they're playing. You figure they're playing 80, 90, 2000, 2010, 2020, 50 years. I can name on probably both my hands the hits that they had. So, I
Yeah,
thought,
really. And I'm looking up Dreamboat Annie right now, and on their cuts, Dreamboat Annie, different versions. There's 3 of them.
yeah,
So they didn't have that much.
no, but the ones that were hits were really, really good hits. But they just
Yeah.
didn't. They didn't really. I don't think that they performed a lot of new songs. Well, once they got rid of the original members of the band, they really didn't. They didn't really
They
write.
didn't get a hit.
Yeah, they were doing other people's stuff at that point, and living off their past.
And Bad Animals only had 1 hit.
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I mean, I can't. I think they really. They were good musicians, but I don't think they did. They didn't write once they lost their writing team, because their writing team was that first band, and once they lost that was it.
Little Queen
Little Queen was
was
okay.
just Barracuda.
Well, didn't they have on Little Queen? They also had Little Queen, the song Little Queen, I think. But I don't think Little Queen was that big of a hit. It was okay. It was.
It wasn't that big of a hit.
Yeah. But living on $200 a week, yeah, But back in that day, $200 a week probably got you pretty far. Except they probably had to get rooms and probably had to, once you start spending money on rooms and
Well,
stuff.
I wonder if they had an expense account.
Back then, I don't know.
Maybe not.
I don't know. It's hard to say. Yeah, I don't know. And when Roger destroyed his guitar, I kind of was really sad. Because that was
He went crazy. He
Yeah.
went crazy.
yeah. See,
That's when they voted him out. They voted him out the next day.
yeah. But then they each got voted out one at a time. So, oh man, it
And
was
the
a
other thing I did not know, although I knew it was sex appeal, but I did not know. I forget which label it was, but they decided to put them on the cover in low-cut dresses
That was,
looked like they were naked.
that was Capitol.
And they
or
it was what?
Capitol, I think.
That was Capitol.
Let me check.
And they let it out there that they might have been sister lovers.
Yeah, I always thought that was kind of strange that they did that cover because, it was kind of provocative, even though they weren't naked. They kind of made you believe that they were, they might have been. It was kind of, but that's a record company. That's what a record company does.
They
That
want to
wasn't
sell records, and they don't care how.
right. I said Capitol. It wasn't Capitol. It was the first one. I forget who the first one was. Who was the first? Do I know the?
I can't remember.
I don't know if I put that in there. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me back this up a little bit. I had notes also on there. So, there it is. There's all the information. And I thought it was interesting that they, at the Hall of Fame in 2013, they played with the original band one song, and then the rest of them were with the other band, with the new band. And it says the band evolved. Now, some of this stuff wasn't in the special, but it says the band evolved from previous projects led by founding members Roger Fisher and Steve Fossen, the guitar player and the bass player, including The Army from 1967 to 69, Hocus Pocus from 1969 to 1970, and White Heart from 1970 to 1973. By 1975, the original members, Fossen, Fisher, Ann Wilson, along with Nancy Wilson, Mike DeRose, and Howard Leese, formed the band, formed the lineup for the initial mid to late 70s success period. See, that's the time I remember them doing things, is the late 70s. That's when I remember Barracuda. That's when I remember, but I didn't remember any, and that's when they had all their record stuff, all their record fame too, because they didn't. I don't think they released anything after the. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think they released anything. Maybe they did something in the 80s, but for the most part, they lived off their past stuff. Here we go. Here's their hits. Magic Man 75, Crazy on You 76, Barracuda 77, What About Love 85, Never 85, All I Want to Do Is Make Love to You 1990, These Dreams was 86, and Alone is 87. So after the 80s, they didn't make any new stuff. So they, so you got 10, 20. In 30 years, they didn't do anything the last 30 years.
But they made the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Of
Yeah.
course, it's not hard to make the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, I think it is, because they a lot of guys are not in that should be. Like Foreigner didn't make it in till this past year. And they usually don't get in the first time. Foreigner was one of the ones that actually got in the first time that they were nominated. Nominated for 4 Grammy Awards, sold over 50 million records, including 22.5 million in the United States. They placed top 10 albums in the Billboard 200 in the 1970s, 80s, 90s, and 2010. Hart was ranked number 57 in VH1's 100 Greatest Artists of Hard Rock, and 49 in Ultimate Classic Rock. Let's see here. Let's see. They frequently played Bothell High School, Inglemoor High School, Shorecast High School, as well as many taverns and club venues. In 1969, the band went through a lineup change. Gary Ziegelman, former lead singer of Buffalo Clancy, on lead vocals, Fisher on guitar, Fossen on bass, and James Sorello on guitar, Ron Rudge on drums, and Ken Hansen on percussion, and took the name Hocus Pocus. The name Whiteheart came from a discussion of Roger Fisher's brother, Mike Fisher, he had with Mike Monroe, who had come up with Whiteheart without the E, a reference to Arthur Clarke's Tales from the White Heart, for a band with Toby Sear on lead guitar. Fisher asked and received permission to use the name The Army and added an E. The Army became White Heart. For a brief time in 1970, it shortened its name to Heart, H-E-A-R-T. Oh yeah, okay. I thought they had Heart, H-A-R-T, for a while too. But it says here their name since 1973 was Heart. Let's see. And Mike Fisher was set to be drafted in the Army. Nancy Wilson stated that when he did not report for duty, his home was raided. He slipped out a rear window and escaped to Canada and became the Vietnam War draft dodger. From one day in 1971-72, Mike crossed the border to visit his family and by chance met Ann at a Hocus Pocus or White Heart show. According to Nancy, that meeting was where she and Mike fell in love, and Ann decided to follow the band back to Canada. I knew that the most of them were in Canada, and I didn't know where the Seattle thing came in. I guess some of them were from Seattle. Let's see. Group played numerous shows.
Did you know, Mike, that I was a protester too?
I don't doubt that.
I got permanent residence status in Canada.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I didn't go because the war ended and I didn't have to leave.
Ah.
But yeah. And then I felt so guilty about it. I enlisted in the military, in the Army, U.S. Army in '86.
Isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah. I felt like a coward.
Well.
And I had to enlist. There was no choice. Of course, the money for college was there too. I mean, and I wanted to impress a girl.
Ah.
So there were 3 reasons I enlisted.
Boy, I don't know if I'd like that last one. I wouldn't do it for a girl. For the money to go to school, I would. I still couldn't do it. You know, when they asked. They had the draft re-enlisted or reactivated when I was just getting out of college, and I refused to sign for it. And eventually they forced me. If I wanted to work, I had to.
Sign for selective service.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing is that the bad thing, the good thing. I don't know which one you want to call it. The good thing was they wouldn't have taken me anyway because I weighed so much. I was way out of shape, and they wouldn't have taken me. So, but I still didn't want to do it because of the idea of the war. I have no interest in hurting anyone or doing anything to anyone, and I would just be killed. So, I think I'd rather go to jail. Anyway. So here it talks about 75, 76 commercial breakthrough. The demo tape they recorded with the assistance of Mike Flicker and Howard Leese. That's when Dreamboat Annie came out, produced the first 5 albums. Later known as, Canadian-based studios known as Mushroom Studios. And it says here, the album was picked up by Siegel and sold 30,000 copies in Canada within the first few months in 75. See, that's not a lot. That's 30,000 isn't really a lot. So it's no wonder but the thing is, that was a great song. They just didn't get enough exposure. They didn't get the radio play and all that. So they opened for Rod Stewart. A gig they were offered a day before the concert when they were previously scheduled opening act. When the previously scheduled opening act canceled, and the radio success of Magic Man led to concert organizations offering a spot to Heart. And it talks about.
See, I believe I saw them in concert, but I was doing so much acid at the time I don't remember.
Well, then technically you probably didn't see them. You may have been there, but you didn't.
I do remember I was traveling to Philly, Baltimore, Washington, and New York City a lot to see concerts.
Wow.
But I don't remember 90% of them.
See,
I was tripping every time I'd go.
What years are you talking about?
I'm talking about
in the 70s?
73 to about 77.
Okay. All right.
I did a lot of acid, and I did a lot of acid. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, That's wild. I can't say I ever did acid, so I haven't done really any drugs like that at all. Uh, yeah, or drinking a lot or anything like that. I don't know. In '78, the Dog and Butterfly peaked at 17 on the Billboard 200. Barracuda did number 11. It's their second million seller. Heartless did number 24 in the charts. Yeah, they didn't. I don't think they had a number one out of all these hits, but that's not really unusual because that's hard to do that. 84, Babe Lestrange. No, 80. It came out in 80. The band's third top 10 album, peaking at number 5. Even It Up. I forgot about that song. That was a good song. Tell It Like It Is. That's a good song. Let's see here. Oh, they did versions of Unchained Melody, Led Zeppelin's Rock and Roll, and the Beatles' I'm Down. Heart was the first band to appear at the sold-out concert by Queen in 1982. And Private Audition was 82. They made a comeback in 85. Oh, that's when 85 is when they moved to Capitol Records. So that's when they started getting a better deal. But they were floundering. They were really close to, being done at that point because they couldn't make any money. And the thing is with that band, it's the shame is that once they lost their main core, all they could do was just, covers and stuff like that because they apparently... Oh, the one thing I found interesting, what was his name? The guy that co-wrote some of their songs that was not in Queen. I saw his name come up a couple times today. Let me see if I can find his name. Oh, freaking A. I can't remember his name. Because he also worked on other people's albums.
You mean the producer?
Well, he was a co-writer that, freaking A. I can't remember the guy's name. He was a big name, too. He's written for a lot of people. He's like Bernie Taupin. Bernie Taupin wrote for, not only Elton John, but he wrote stuff for Alice Cooper and stuff. He was a guy like that, and I can't remember his name.
Well, do you remember the girl's name that wrote with Ann and Nancy? They were a threesome. Not a sexual threesome, but a threesome.
Yeah. They talked about her, and I don't remember who she was. I'd never heard of her before today. Wait a minute, let me see here. See if I can find that guy's name. I'm sure it's in here. I think it's in here. I don't know why I didn't write that name down. Should have written it down because it was something I found really fascinating. Actually, when I watched that heavy metal thing, that guy that wrote for these guys also wrote for a lot of the heavy metal guys too. I found that interesting too. And I can't remember his name. Oh, shoot.
Don't you hate when that happens?
I do. I really do. Because I can't, because it was really important that guy, that person, he's written so many number one hits. He also wrote for Twisted Sister. Or no, was that the one? Twisted Sister? I don't know. I wish I could remember that stuff. I've got such a horrible... That's why I take notes, and apparently I don't take very good notes because I don't remember who it was.
See, I've got an excuse for a bad memory.
Okay.
It's not dementia, it's acid. It's chocolate mess.
Oh. I've got an excuse too. I have a bad memory all the time. Actually, I'm really happy that I'm remembering lyrics now better than I have in the past. But then again, I haven't practiced since December 28th, so I really want to play. I'm really tired of sitting and not playing. Anyway, that's I thought it was a good story though. It was definitely there's the Grammy Awards were for Heart's Alone, Bad Animals, All I Want to Do Is Make Love to You, and a Lifetime Achievement Award. They were nominated for everything, but they only won the Lifetime Achievement only. They only won one of those. They won the Lifetime Achievement Award. So they didn't win any of those Grammys except the Lifetime. The Lifetime Achievement Award is cool, but
It's pretty cool.
yeah. But I'm surprised that they didn't win, like for Barracuda or one of those, because they did have some pretty solid songs. But anyway, they had. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I enjoyed this morning, Mike. I was up at 6 and I listened to about 2 albums worth of songs
Okay.
this morning. It's pretty cool.
Well, they had 16 albums. I didn't think they had that many. And they actually had albums from all the way up to 2016, 2012, 2010, 2004, 2001. But none of those were, I guess they must have been, let's see what's on any of these. They did actually write those songs. So, Bartlock is the person that you're talking about, Craig Bartlock. Oh, that's a guy. Oh,
I counted 18 albums.
Was it 18? I thought it was 16. It might be.
Well, they had one in 219 and 216, I think.
Okay.
May not be in Wikipedia.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm showing 16, but that doesn't. I mean, Wikipedia's not
Do you have
100%.
Live in Atlantic City?
No, I don't see a Live in Atlantic City. I do see Heart Presents a Love Monger's Christmas. That was their second band. But yeah, that's kind of interesting. I like it.
The other thing I noticed about, the other thing I wanted to bring up was they didn't have very many quotes at all from Ann or Nancy. Ann and Nancy did not sit, I don't think, for the interview.
Huh. Oh, yeah, you're right. They the only thing you heard, if they said anything, that was something that was pre-recorded.
Yeah.
A lot of time that happens though. For that show, they a lot of times the bad guys don't get to say their piece, but like the one that did get to say it was the Twisted Sister guy. That was pretty funny because he's the guy that narrates it. He had to narrate when people were talking bad about him. He had to narrate that. But then he said, it's funny because the guy said, well, he was kind of an a-hole, and then they popped to him, and he goes, they're right. I was an a-hole. And he actually openly admits that the band broke up because of him. So I found that interesting. Maybe it was Gretchen Wilson you're thinking of. No. I don't know who you're...
Do you remember they had the spot where it was after the band had broke up and they were in their second iteration of the band?
Yeah.
And Nancy and Ann had a third girl. They were friends since high school.
Yes. And I cannot remember who that was. I'm looking in to see if I can remember who that was. I don't know. Yeah, I can't tell you. I don't know. But I do remember that. By the way, we're gonna have to get on that if they're gonna be wrapping it up so that we can't watch them anymore.
We got 3 days. We're gonna have to do at least 2 in 3 days.
Yeah.
Or 3.
Yeah. Either way, I'm game. I like that. I like that we can do that. And there's other ones. I've noticed that there's, I don't know if I told you this, but when we were watching, when we did the ZZ Top stuff, I realized there's ZZ Top concerts on Peacock. And I watched them. It was really cool. I enjoyed the, because when I saw ZZ Top live, I loved it. And when I got to see them live on Peacock, it just brought back the memories of Dusty Hill and all that stuff, because they were really a good band. I loved watching them. Yeah, we gotta decide which ones we're gonna watch next. Don't squeak. Don't do it, dog. Yeah, it'd be cool to catch some of the. It's a shame that you can't catch the first couple too, because the first.
I'm hoping maybe,
Stop it.
just maybe, they'll bring the first 2 seasons back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm hoping.
Yeah, I'd like to, but the other one would that you might like is if I don't know if you like the harder music or not, but the heavy metal one that I ran into today was really, really good. Starting off with Alice Cooper and stuff like that. Alice Cooper.
I wanted to do Alice Cooper next.
Yes, so. Alice Cooper has a heck of a story. He doesn't drink anymore.
No, he's a Christian now.
Yeah, I mean that was an awesome story. And this heavy metal thing talks about him too. It talks about a lot of the bands in the in the 80s. It talks a lot about 80 rock and roll and how it derived, and it talks about Deep Purple and Led Zeppelin a little bit, and that stuff. And I don't know which ones I gotta wait. Let's see which ones you have left, because you said you. They were down to the 3rd and 4th season. Yeah. Okay. So, you missed the.